Good day everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. For this video, we are here to provide the second update on our ongoing research project. We've been diligently working on our topic, crop waste in the Philippine agricultural industry, and I'm excited to share the progress we've made. In the following presentation, we will walk you through the brief background of our course, our identified problems, and the formulated hypothesis. So about the course, this research is conducted as part of the major requirements in the course CPE 309, also known as Methods of Research. So this course helps students learn about research by exploring its terminology, ethics, and methods. It covers different types of research and how to use them to review literature and understand the world. Our research topic is chosen as part of the research agendas, which is agriculture. This course aims to achieve the following. First, understand the fundamental principles and concepts of research. Second, design, plan, and conduct research. Third is understand the ethical and professional responsibilities, considerations, and guidelines associated with research, including the responsible conduct of research, protection of human subjects, and proper handling of data. Fourth, conduct review of existing literature, identify gaps in knowledge, and synthesize relevant information to inform the research design. Fifth, understand various research design. Sixth, select appropriate sampling techniques and determine sizes based on the research objective and the nature of the study. Lastly, use relevant research software tools for data analysis, statistical analysis, and visualization. As for the four research agendas, we were given four, and these are: first, the agriculture plus technology innovation; two, networks; three, computer technology related; and fourth, artificial intelligence, machine learning, cybercrime, image processing, and general algorithms.
So the JAWS were focused on the agriculture plus technology innovation for our agendas. And we picked this since the Philippines is rich in agriculture, and I think we need to have technology innovation when it comes to agriculture, from crops to other field of agriculture. So the proposed topic of our research is the crop waste in the Philippines agriculture industry. And the problem we identify is the waste um, crops in storage facilities, markets, and even farm due to the spoilage and surplus. So the main goal of our team is to lessen the waste crops, and if if we can have a solution for the storage facilities na, na that it can help to prolong the crops and hindi siya mabulok agad. And
We have identified 6 possible root causes for our problem of wasted crops in storage facilities, markets, and farms due to spoilage and surplus. These potential root causes are based on news articles and reports about this problem. The first possible root cause is hoarding. It is oftentimes reported that distributors will hoard specific fruit crops and vegetables in order to control the market prices. By hoarding crops, they make it seem like the supplies are low in the market, which results to a higher demand, which causes the price to also go higher. Once the prices are higher, they will sell their crops to the markets for a higher profit. This can sometimes cause the crops to be spoiled and wasted because they are hoarded for way too long. It could also result to many unsold crops in the market because the demand has already lowered by the time the products reach the market. The second possible cause is inefficient distribution. This cause is focused on the inefficient or unoptimized distribution of the crops, which causes some markets to have too much of a product even if the demand for it is low, while other markets will have less of the product even if the demand for it is high. If this happens, those markets that have a surplus in crops will have no choice but to let the unsold crops be wasted and discarded. The third is overproduction, which happens in the farms. When there is an overproduction of specific crops, many of those crops will end up wasted and unconsumed because there is no more demand for them. Then, we have the fourth possible root cause, which is climate. Extreme temperatures caused by the climate can cause certain crops to go bad and be unconsumable. This is often connected to an inefficient storage system where the crops are not properly stored to combat the extreme temperatures. And the fifth possible root cause are pests. Pests are one of the most common causes for crop spoilage. Many farmers suffer from pest problems, and many crops get wasted because they are spoiled or grow inefficiently because of these pests. And the last possible root cause is a bad storage system, which is also connected to the fourth possible cause of climate. If the crops are not properly stored in a working storage facility, there's a high chance that they will spoil, be eaten by pests, or be left unsold. Now that we have discussed the possible root causes of this problem, let's move on to the potential consequences. So, what are the potential consequences? Wasted crops will lead to insufficient supplies in the markets and the distributors. And the next possible consequence is directly related to the first one. Wasted crops means less supply, and if there is a high demand, then the prices need to increase. This increase in price is not good for the consumers. The third possible consequence is that the farmers will lose a lot of their income. If the crops spoil in the farms before they are harvested or while they are in storage, the farmers won't be able to sell them, which means that they will lose out on revenue. The fourth possible consequence affects the consumers, which is that they will suffer from hunger. If the prices go high because of insufficient supply, many people may not be able to afford food anymore. They may save money or try to save money by eating less, or they may simply not be able to afford food at all. And the fifth possible consequence affects the environment. Wasted crops will either be spoiled, burned, or left unharvested. This can cause many environmentally destructive effects, such as greenhouse gases, wasted water and nutrients in the soil, and damaged soil quality and biodiversity. The last possible or potential consequence is the economic losses for the businesses. Wasted crops do not only affect farmers, but also the retailers, distributors, and the market vendors.
For our hypothesis. For the first one, government policies positively influence the problem with crop waste. This means that the rules or actions that the government makes can help prevent or reduce the amount of crops that are wasted. For example, if the government sets a fair price for the crops or gives money to the farmers who produce less waste or bans the hoarding of crops, then the problem of crop waste might be improved. Second hypothesis. Proper distribution of crops from plantation to markets help reduce crop waste. This means that the way of the crops are moved or delivered from farms to the buyers can help avoid or lessen the loss or damage of crops. For example, if the crops are transported quickly, safely, and efficiently using good roads, vehicles, or storage facilities, then the problem of crop waste might be reduced. For our third and final hypothesis, Training and educational programs help improve the practices, resulting in less crop waste. This means that the activities or lessons that teach the farmers, traders, or consumers how to handle or use the crops can help change or improve their behaviors or habits that cause crop waste. For example, if the farmers can learn how to grow or harvest the crops better, or the traders learn how to store or sell the crops better, or the consumers learn how to buy or consume the crops better, then the problem of crop waste might be solved. Analysis of the problem and hypothesis. Crop waste refers to the loss of agricultural products from harvest to consumption due to spoilage, surplus, or other factors. According to a report by Department of Agriculture, the Philippines produces about 30 million tons of agricultural waste annually, mainly from rice, corn, coconut, and sugarcane. This waste represents a huge loss of potential income from farmers and businesses, as well as a waste of natural resources and a source of greenhouse gas emissions. Moreover, crop waste contributes to food insecurity, hunger, and poverty, as it reduces the availability and affordability of food for the population. The problem of crop waste can be attributed to several root causes, such as hoarding, inefficient distribution, overproduction, climate, pests, and bad storage system. Hoarding is the practice of withholding or accumulating agricultural products to manipulate prices or create artificial scarcity. This can result in excess supply or spoilage of crops in storage facilities or markets. Inefficient distribution is the lack of coordination or infrastructure to transport and deliver agricultural products from farms to customers. This can cause delays, damages, or losses of crops along the supply chain. Overproduction is the production of more crops than the demand or capacity of the market. This can lead to surplus or glut of agricultural products. This can lower prices or cause wastage. Climate is the weather conditions and natural phenomena that affect the growth and quality of crops. This can include droughts, floods, storms, typhoons, or volcanic eruptions, which can destroy or damage crops in the fields or in transit. Pests are the organisms that feed on or harm crops such as insects, rodents, birds, or diseases. This can reduce the yield or quality of crops or make them unfit for consumption. Bad storage system is the inadequate or improper storage of agricultural products such as ventilation, refrigeration, or preservation. This can cause deterioration, spoilage, or contamination of crops in storage facilities or markets. The proposed hypotheses are that government policies, proper distributions, and training and educational programs can help reduce crop waste and its negative impacts. Government policies are the laws, regulations, or incentives that govern the production, trade, or consumption of agricultural products. This can include tariffs, subsidies, quotas, standards, or sanctions, which can affect the supply, demand, or price of crops. Proper distribution is the efficient and effective delivery of agricultural products from farms to consumers using appropriate infrastructure, technology, or logistics. This can include roads, vehicles, warehouses, cold chains, or traceability systems, which can reduce delays, damages, or losses of crops along the supply chain. Training and educational programs are activities or interventions that provide knowledge, skills, or awareness to farmers, traders, or consumers on how to prevent, reduce, or manage crop waste. This can include workshops, seminars, campaigns, or demonstrations, which can improve the practices, behaviors, or attitudes of the stakeholders involved in the crop waste problem. With that, I would like to conclude our presentation by introducing our members. Alexander Q. Bato, who has a knack for computer programming, web development, and video editing. He is also an active member of the Microsoft student community and the Institute of Computer Engineers of the Philippines. Joshua Miguel S. Bernal, who has a flair for computer networking, UI, UX design, and data science and analytics. He is also a passionate learner and innovator in the field of technology and computer programming. Andrei Joy P. Cobong, who has a talent for software and hardware engineering. He is also a creative thinker and problem solver who uses technology to create and innovate. And lastly, me, Veejay Martirez, who has a strong passion for data science and computer engineering. He is also a social leader and advocate who participates in community service and promotes positive change. Again, thank you for listening to our presentation.